Welcome to another episode of Share the Vibes podcast. I am your host, Jink, the DJ, founder, CEO of Share the Vibes LLC. Glad to have you back with us again for another great episode with another special guest, because we know every guest is special. But before we introduce this great creative we have with us today, Mr. Jae, our co-host, our producer, founder, CEO of Audio Moguls Media Podcast Network, which we are a part of. So make sure you go to audiomogulsmedia.com. That link is in the description. Check out all the podcasts on the network. Check out our episodes and all of our label mates. We all signed this 360 deal. So I'm just playing. We didn't do that. Jae, how you doing, man?
The way I laughed, it sounded kind of sinister. I kind of feel like good, man. Good. Can't complain. We got another episode under our belt right now, so I'm excited about that. 2024 we starting like Uncle Shay Shay in 2024.
Yeah, we about to break the internet.
We about to break the internet. But no, man, feeling good, feeling great. Can't complain, man. I actually had a day off today, so it was good. So I ain't had to teach no kids today. Ain't had to yell at no kids, tell nobody to sit down. So we good. Right. We good. How about you?
Yeah, I can't complain, man. We had a beautiful day today. Actually, I think it was like 74 today. I'm sure y'all can't relate. But yeah, it was probably like 74. 50? Okay, that's good.
50.
That's
good
for
today.
y'all.
I think it was 50 today. Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was not bad at all.
Yeah, but it was smooth, man. Just we got an Alpha convention coming up here in town this weekend, so getting ready to help host that and everything. Gonna be a lot of brothers around. This is my first convention back in the southern region. So
okay.
See the people I hadn't seen in a while, and some of them might still remember when I had like that 1 year when I was importing in Alpha. So maybe I can get a little bit of special treatment coming off of that. But no, we're just taking it easy, man. Just taking it easy. Easter is coming up pretty soon.
Oh, man.
So that's crazy. And then I get to shoot up Milwaukee in a few weeks. So looking forward to being back. Hopefully get to see y'all and link up a little bit. And
yes, sir.
Have a good time for old time's sake.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. We got to.
Absolutely. But hey, man, as always, I guess not always, been a few times where we didn't, but for the most part, we got a special guest with us today. Want to welcome none other than Jae Ace, Will Boyce, whatever you know him by. How you doing, sir?
Man, life is a blessing, bro. I'm good. I'm in great spirit, healthy. I wake up every day. I ain't got nothing wrong with me, so life got to be good.
Dope.
Hey, that's the way to see it. That's the way to look at it. So I want to I usually start by saying, tell us who Jae Ace is, something like that. But I said I was going to start a little differently today. So a little, get the thought stirring. How do you define creativity?
How do I define creativity? I would start at individuality. I think that, a lot of people who we mark as creative, just like they tap into themselves like wholeheartedly, and just they think outside of the box and think outside of the norms. They set their own trends. You don't really seeing them buying into everybody else's style. Like creativity, I would speak on like fashion. You see a lot of people like me when I dress. I got a white tee on, some jeans, and some Jordans. That's a typical, But when you see some other people, they and it don't got to be necessarily fancy or expensive. I know people that thrift and they just look great. They always look good. They enthusiastic about their approach to fashion.
Yeah.
So I would say just like in all aspects of it, I think it starts off with individuality.
Dope. I like that, man. Individuality. So you just gonna try to reel us back into the who is Jae Ace question, huh? Man, that's real though. Our last episode with Jazz, shout out to Jazz with My Moves Move You. Definitely check that out if you haven't already. Hookah and Lamb Chops. Check out that episode.
Hookah and Lamb Chops.
We had it was one of the more introspective conversations we've had. Because she's a dancer kind of by nature, and it's shifted more into podcasting and mental health and kind of bringing community and help people share their stories and heal and all this good stuff. But we spent a lot of time talking about passion versus purpose. And she's talking about how dance has always been a passion of hers, but she was realizing that her purpose is a little different. It's not necessarily separate from her passion of dancing, but the purpose that she had to expand a little bit beyond what she's just known. So then we talk about being creatives, and being cultivators of that individuality. I think it goes back to the passions we have, but also the purpose we have, and to your point, fully tapping into who we are as people to execute on both of those. So great way to start this conversation, man. Creativity is a byproduct of individuality. I like that.
Yes, sir.
I like that. Man, so talking about creativity, I thought about that because you do music, which we still ain't made it to the studio together. We've been making it to the studio for probably about 8 years at this point. But you do music, you play basketball, you're a videographer, photographer, podcaster, and there's probably some other stuff I'm missing. But where was that creative gene birthed in you? How do you get into these different avenues? What kind of gets you going? What stirs that passion in you?
Just growing up where I grew up. Shout out to my neighborhood, Highland, of course, and seeing my family members and the things that they were into. They somewhat inspired most of my aspirations in life. As far as like my brother, my uncle, a couple of my best friends, my cousin Clint, of course. And it first started off with just playing basketball. Like I used to sit on my grandma's porch. We used to have this like full court in our alley on crates though. Like we used to put them on poles and they used to be diagonal. So it wasn't really like a real full court, but we made it work. You know what I'm saying? So just at a young age, just seeing my brother who was more like, my father figure growing up, like because my father lived in Marion, Indiana at the time. So I used to just look up to my brother. I used to think that he was the coolest person on earth. So I used to see him and a couple of my cousins and my uncle. They used to play back and forth in the alley, and I just wanted to be like my brother. So everything he did, I used to emulate. And then it just turned into passion. Once I, got into about probably like 7th grade, playing at Sarah Scott. Shout out to Coach Kingsby. He inspired me to be somebody bigger than who I thought I was. I knew I could play, but like the way he used to talk to me, the way he used to, challenge me, made me a lot better. So like going to Sarah Scott, like I was the guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? MVP both years, offensive player of the year. We went to the championship both years in a row. We lost both of them though, but and it just turned me into an animal. He used to say I used to have the eye of the tiger. Like he said, I used to look so fired up and serious out there. And I think that just, opened up a lot of doors for me as far as like basketball was concerned.
So how did you talked about it a little bit, but I want you to dig a little deeper if you don't mind. How does Milwaukee play into your creativity? Because I think if a lot of folks don't understand how creative and how wonderful Milwaukee is, and just how we have our own style. You talk about individuality. We're not like Detroit. We're not like Chicago. We're not like Minnesota, Minneapolis. We are our own unique city. So how has Milwaukee played a role in your individuality, or help cultivate some of your individuality?
Well, I think Milwaukee is an interesting place to be in, dude, because like depending on what side of the city you grow up in or what side of the city you own, everything's different. So I grew up on the west side, and the things that we used to like to do was rib, of course. Like I think every side had their own different style of soaking and ribbing and roasting each other. I think if you grew up in Milwaukee, you had to have tough skin. If you couldn't rib, you had to stay in the house.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that was just something culturally that we just did. And I think it's good because at that time you get to understand your and letting people talk about some things you may be insecure about, right? And just be able to have some thick skin and learn how to like not get emotional and just have a comeback too. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you're gonna attack me here, I'm gonna attack you here. But it's all jokes, fun, and games, and you do it with your friends and family. I think another thing is just as far as the way we talk. The way we talk is a little bit different. Like depending on where you at. If you go on Burleigh in Sherman, where they call it the zoo at, they talk a little bit different. I think a lot of our slang came from over there. And shout out to my boys from over there, Big Tay, Bags, the producer, Draylon, and them, dog. Like growing up and not being so far from them, I could go over there, chop it up with them dudes. And them dudes used to be talking. And I'd be like, what is they talking about? Like just the way that they're talking. Like, I don't understand this. And then like as you be around him a little bit, you kind of start catching on. Burlock Prince too. My bad. I want to make sure I shout him out. He's one of the dudes I went to Vincent with. Probably the funniest person I ever met in my life. Like he's probably the best ribber. He used to have a crazy sense of fashion, and just the way he talked was so different. Even still today, if you check out his posts and stuff like that, he got his own fashion brand. The way he used slang and talk is just different. So I think Milwaukee played a huge influence on me, just being able to be in those different melting pots and just being able to be in different neighborhoods and talking with everybody else and seeing what they do, because all of us did something different at the time. I remember, you know what I'm saying? Of course, we came up on hip hop. So growing up, you got the Reeboks and the Jabos and the white tees, but then it was, Guess jeans with the pencil pocket and the pinstripe fits and stuff like that. So Milwaukee was always creative with the way we dressed, the way we talked, and just the way we are as human beings. So it had a major influence on me.
Milwaukee definitely has its own language and style. That is for sure. Milwaukee is its own city. That you put it on the head one day. I never thought about the other side of a ribbon. They call it ribbon in Milwaukee. Most of us call it roasting or joking, whatever.
Joning.
Joning. But I never thought about the perspective of growing up in a culture where you're going to rib, you're going to get ribbed. It teaches you to learn how to face your insecurities, and at an early age.
At an early age,
yes, sir.
And I think you always have the outliers. Like some people, like you take that and it's traumatizing, but for many, it's like being in the gym. It helps you build that muscle. So now in your old age, you're not as sensitive, so not everybody can get you off your rocker by saying something that you don't like. You're used to it, and you've already examined those things about yourself. And when you're self-aware, it's hard for somebody to really hurt your feelings, so to speak. Your feelings can still be hurt, but people can't necessarily surprise you. They can't necessarily surprise you as easily. It's like, I already know that. What you talking about? Yeah, I can join on that better than you can. So I think that's dope. And it says a lot about the storytelling within Milwaukee, from films to movies. Matter of fact, I think there was a documentary or something I saw, and they were at Vincent. And I feel like the students might have been joking like on the teacher or something. I think Danny was in there. Shout out to Danny. She can already have a baby any day now over in China. But I think that she was in there like getting joked on by the students or something. But it's like, it's just the culture and what y'all do. So I love that.
My students rip me all the time. And that's why I was like, I make sure, I said, I do a musty check every day. I'm like, come here. Let me see. Let me make sure you ain't musty. Let me make sure you ain't musty. Do a musty check. Because I got caught up being musty when I was in Riverside one day in band class, and man, they tagged me. I forgot to put deodorant on that day. They tagged me, and I still remember it to this day. So you got to be on point. I can say nothing back because I was musty, but you try. No, they ain't me. But yeah, it was me. Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what's up?
Yep, they're from Wisconsin, both of them.
I don't remember.
Well, you'll see them soon enough. All right, y'all gonna get ready for bed.
So they always got to make an appearance. It's like I don't want to call it an Easter egg, but it was like they're the stars of the show, the mini guests. I love that.
Yeah, man. Milwaukee storytelling. So we talked basketball. That was a big part of your upbringing. Your big brother, like a role model to you. You're out there with Clint. Clint's also in the creative. Black gems, telling black stories.
Sir.
Making sure people are educated on our history. He's also a musician by trade, whether he admits it or not.
He said he played the trumpet. He plays the trumpet, right? Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. He was teaching me keyboard for a little bit too. I could play. Matter of fact, the song Alicia was playing at the Super Bowl. If I ain't got you. I said, I could play that. She should have had me out there. I could have played it for her. She was focused on the notes, man. I could have covered her. But going back to your recent storytelling, from basketball to the jokes, how is that translated into your creative storytelling today as a songwriter, a producer, a videographer, a photographer, a podcaster? How have those roots translated itself into your art today?
All right, since we brought up Clint and the trumpet and all of that, I'll start off by saying Clint influenced me to play the trumpet. So
Well,
we
okay.
both went to Sarah Scott together. We both went to Sarah Scott together, and we used to have a band teacher named Mr. Grazana. And I'm a year younger than Clint, so I was in seventh, he was in eighth. He was playing, and he was cold. So I was like, I'm finna play, like you know what I'm saying, and figure it out. Like maybe this is something I could get into. I was cold, you know what I'm saying. But after eighth, well, in the middle of eighth grade year, I figured out, you know what I'm saying, I was a basketball player, and I was gonna go pursue that. I could have went to school to play the trumpet with Clint, but I chose to play basketball. And Mr. Kazana he tore me up. He was just mad. He was angry. Like, man, you gotta do this. Like, no, bro, I'm finna go hoop or whatever. But um, just as far as like the creativity and everything, I just realized that um, my childhood, my upbringing. Now that I look back at it today, I didn't notice at the time, but like now that I look back at it today, I was just searching for a way to be seen and be heard. I didn't have a lot of um, spaces that I felt comfortable opening up in, or just as a young black man in America, I didn't really probably even know how to. Um, it would lead to emotion and frustration maybe. So I would take it out on other stuff. So I would draw. I would play instruments. I would play basketball. Like I said, I had many influences, and I want to make sure I shout out one of my big homies, one of my best friends, Corey Sykes, live in Atlanta now. He was my next door neighbor, and he was also a person that I looked up to, and he was the one that actually brought music to me. Like I wasn't interested in music really. I guess we lived in a time where social media wasn't really as prevalent as it is now. I don't even think we had social media, so the people that are around you was your influences. So he brought me in his room one day, like, "Hey, listen to this rap." And he's 4 years older than me, I think, now, or he's been 4 years older than me. And just going up there and listening to him, and well, okay, nice. And then he encouraged me, like, "Hey, man, you write something, like you do something." They used to call me a little poet
Okay.
because like when I used to rap, it used to be a little bit deeper. Like it wouldn't like what I'm saying, just like regular, just rapping about money, cars, or whatever. I used to be expressing myself. So I think just throughout the whole journey, now that I look back at it, most of the stuff that I did in life, um, even today, I still look to, tell a story, to tell my story, to express myself, to be open, to be able to be critiqued, to be vulnerable in a space where people don't really criticize you. You know what I'm saying? So like, of course you'll criticize my music, but you won't criticize me opening up. Like, whereas if I'm talking to a person, they be like, "Man, you soft, shut up." Like, you know what I'm saying? Or you can't talk like that, or you know what I'm saying? I use these avenues to really express who I was as an individual.
I like that, man. Um,
I
so yeah, go
I
ahead,
just
man.
want to bring up it's very interesting because when I was in high school, I noticed this too. I also started off, my first instrument was a trumpet as well too in band class. I started in ninth grade, and I know you know all about that spit vibe, that nasty spit vibe,
Yep.
man. Oh
Oh
my
my
god.
God.
Disgusting.
But I find
I
it
used to
very
hate
interesting that athletes have a musical side as well too. And I don't know if that translate to your ability to play basketball or not with the rhythm and things like that. I mean, I just wanted to just kind of tip because I'm starting to see that parallel a little bit where like for instance, our newest Buck Dame Lillard is a rapper, and he gets busy. He's not a bad rapper. He gets
does.
busy. He gets busy. Dame gets busy.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering,
Dame
did that help you at all as well too playing basketball? I mean, was there any correlation with that with music and basketball? Even though I know you didn't play it, your band teacher was mad at you because you didn't play it all. But did that help out at all?
Most definitely. So, like I said, when I made the transition, go to high school and playing basketball, of course. Um, Understanding what basketball is played at a rhythm.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It's played at a speed. You know what I'm saying? Every team has a different identity, depending on your players and the talent that you have. For us, just even going through practice, and competing against each other, you could tell that the coach was just trying to teach us to be on the same page. And being on the same page is being on the same speed, being on the same pattern, the same beat, knowing what to do, you know what I'm saying, without being instructed to do it. So with the way that you would structure that, you would have just flow. You have motion, just people just knowing where to be, knowing what to do, knowing when to shoot, when to pass, when to, rebound and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think that also basketball and hip hop have kind of merged into a space where we want to be each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The basketball players, whenever I grew up, when I grew up, the basketball players looked at the rappers like we want to be them, and the rappers was vice versa. You know what I'm saying? It was because we were doing things that probably more than likely, like some rappers could probably play basketball and some basketball players could probably rap, but it ain't a lot of them
Yeah.
that could do it at a high level because of the time that you got to put into the craft. Like to be an elite basketball player at the high school level, you probably got to work out 3 times a day. And you got to train, and you got to, you know what I'm saying? You got to know how to talk. You know how to, know when to talk. Know just a whole bunch of other things that people don't talk to you about when you're 15.
Yeah.
Because they ain't been there. They don't know. You know what I'm saying? Most people aren't going to be, high level basketball players, but it's a million of them playing every year. So depending on where you getting your information from, it can set you up to be great or it can set you up to be mediocre. So I think that it all plays in. The factors also playing into themselves when you talk about coaching, strategy, and stuff like that. I had Tom Diener as a coach, basketball Hall of Fame in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
He's his numbers retired at the University of Green Bay. So I had great instruction as far as like structure and the way things are supposed to be. And I think that basketball players and rappers, you got to do the same. Rap, bro, people just think that you could just turn on the mic and rap and you go viral and you going to make it. Like, people don't understand it. Like, no, bro, there's a business side to this. You got to understand. You got to have people in line behind the scenes for you doing all of your PR stuff, making your business, your contracts, money, and all of this stuff. So in the same way that you got 5 people on the basketball court, moving to the same beat and, doing all of the things on one accord, you got to do that same thing on the music side. You got to have 3 or 4 people doing this for you, 4 or 5 people on this side doing it for you. And if you don't have that, it's going to be hard for you to be successful in any industry.
He's talking about a team, ladies and gentlemen. He's talking about a team.
Yes, sir.
Gotta have a team, man. Teamwork made the dream work.
Absolutely.
Yes,
but
sir.
Because I like to think about parallels between music and other things I do. Because I played basketball in high school too, not to the level you played. And I'm all right with that. But I still play, now that I think about it, I was in band, I did marching band, and with marching band, you got different formations and you got to count to get to your spot. And I was a percussionist too. I was marching snare. So, we driving the rhythm of the band. So, think about it on the basketball court now. You running plays, you got to be in your position and understand how to read the floor and what the spacing is and when you need to adjust. And you got to do those same things in band. Like, you got 8 counts to get to your spot, but somebody moving too fast up here, you got to adjust to make sure the formation still looks right. And people have no clue all the stuff that's going on in that. So I love that parallel there. Now that I think about it, it might be why I was good at taking charges. Like, I just knew how to position myself at just the right time. Take it. I don't know. Everything's math. Like, even conditioning. I knew, like, we had a minute to run them hurricanes. So I knew, all right, by the time I get to like number 6, I need to look at it. If it's like 30 seconds up there, I'm moving too slow. I got to speed it up.
Yep.
So, you take that into the music making process. We were kind of laughing before we started recording. I was just throwing out some terms like filters and lows and mids and all this stuff. And Jay started laughing at me. He told me I sound like an engineer, but being a DJ, you start learning all this stuff and how to manipulate sounds and make it work. Later, I'll tell y'all how I had to finesse a hook in Weak by SWV in the latest mix I put out to make it sound like something. In the music process, rapping, and we're going to get into your music here a little bit. How do you have a set cadence you try to adhere to when you're on these songs? Going to go back to rhythm and counting and understanding all that. Do you try to switch up the flow every time? So, all right, I was at like 90 BPM last time. Let me see if I can do 65 this time and hit the upbeats on this song instead of the downbeats. Like, do you try to how do you kind of establish your cadence when you spit it?
I think a little bit of it goes back to just talking about timeline, time frames and stuff like that. I think now I can describe this. Before, when I first started, or when I was in the midst of, the beginning of my career, I couldn't really describe this. It's more so like trying to find who you are or whatever. So like at the time, I think when I first like really really started taking music serious, the music sounded a little different. We was in like the dance era, maybe snap, do your step, and all of that era. So
Mm-hmm.
the music sounded different, and with what I did, like I never was a dancer or like one of those kind of rappers. I always been like I want bars. I want to hear, you know what I'm saying. So growing up listening to like Jay Z, the Rockefeller, that was like my guys. Them was my dudes. I used to love like Philadelphia Freeway. Of course, earlier in my life, it was the Hot Boys and
Mm-hmm.
Juvenile and Wayne, and all of them. But just learning, just spaces to be in music. You gotta understand that, like making this song, you can either, you know what I'm saying, be under the beat or be over the beat,
Mm-hmm.
right? And usually when you under the beat is because you want to be like more melodic with it, with your approach. You just want to use your voice as an instrument. When you
Yeah.
over the beat, typically want to have like so you typically want to showcase your lyrical ability. You want to really have people really listening to what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So at the beginning of my career, it was really interesting to me because I hated hearing my voice. Like I hated hearing it. Like I
It's
used
a
to
cover
love the
story.
bars. I used to love what I was saying. I'm like, dog, like it's too squeaky, it's too high, it's too, this. And then you trying to mix in your personality to certain things that maybe shouldn't be done. Like you go into a booth and this is what I tell people all the time. Like I hated myself for this. Like not literally, but like I just didn't like that I did this. It was like I used to go to the studio and be like, all right, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna drop these bars. I drop these records with these bars, and I used to love those records. But then I would
Mm-hmm.
always be like, oh, I gotta go make a club song. Like it's like,
Mm.
bro, like that ain't what you do though. Like you know what I'm saying? But like the industry and the way things are set up, people will make it seem like, oh, you gotta have a club song, you gotta have a radio song. If you can't do that, then you can't
Yeah.
necessarily get on or get in.
Yeah.
And so it'd be like you'll find yourself chasing all of this other stuff, and it'd be like, oh, like you gotta hone in on this. This is what you do really, really well. Like
Mm-hmm.
just stick to doing this, and if it come this way, you're gonna appreciate it. If it come the other way, you're gonna probably burn out anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I think my approach was always just trying to find where I wanted to be into the music, and then just the style of music. When we first started doing music, it was loud. Music was just loud. Like you hear Just Blaze and all of this,
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom. And the beats were just hard, Money Fresh, and all. Beats is just hard. Like you know what I'm saying? They boom, boom, boom. And the beats is
Mm-hmm.
really just carrying the song.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you get more melodic flows from like Kendrick, J. Cole.
Yep.
Yeah, even when Drake rap, he don't really have a lot of bass in his beats and stuff like that. Um, so I just think that just finding my pocket early uh, would have helped a lot more. Now more so, I know where I'm at now. You know what I'm saying? Just doing it. But I think that just throughout the whole transition of it, it was just like always trying to make sure that I didn't be a distraction to the beat. I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that it was a melodic mesh and it was good for the product.
Did you going back to that club record? Not necessarily think about a club record, but chasing the Milwaukee sound, because I think, and correct my timeline, I think that Milwaukee sound ish, it was there, but it became more pronounced more in the early 2000s. Like it's Cuckoo Cow kind of really, set it off for us. But like that early 2000s, and I'll say for me, when I really got into the Milwaukee sound, because I graduated in 2009, was when I heard Ray Nitty Bow. And I was like, oh, okay, we got
Yeah.
something. Milwaukee got a sound. Like, but this is different. This is not unique. This is unique to us. Nobody else got it. But for you, when you got in that booth, were you like, okay, I got to make a Milwaukee record, as opposed to making a record that's anything else? So my question is, did you try to chase that Milwaukee sound, or did you try to stay uniquely you in that booth?
Man, and this is why I always talk about influences and just having somebody that did it before, just being able to talk to you and train you in a sort. Of course, I tried to chase that. Like it's just like it
Mm-hmm.
was inevitable. Like
Yeah.
it was just like you see what it did for people. And of course, these are my peers, so I'm seeing them everywhere. We doing everything together. Right around the time that record came out, before that record came out, we used to all meet up every week at a place called Live on North. And like all the artists used to be there. Like everybody in the city, bro. The biggest names and the smallest names. Everybody used to be there. Every week there was performances the whole night. Everybody's performing their new records and all of this. And then Club Mix was like our spot. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like that's where Ray Nitty ended up shooting About Video at.
Okay.
Shout out to Ray Nitty too. So I was there. He shot the video on my birthday. Like I was celebrating my birthday at Mix that night. Yeah. So him, I would say Ray Rizzy. Shout out to Big Homie. That's my guy. At the time, I would say the four biggest records for me in that period was Bow, Ray Rizzy, I'm Jacking, Young Okie Booty Hop, and Young Major, She Perfect. And like they were all like different kinds of records, but they all sounded like Milwaukee. So for like 2-3 months, you know, you going to the studio, I'm like, I gotta get a record, bro. I gotta get a record. I'm in the club with these dudes every night. You know what I'm saying? I can't play none of my records because, you know, I'm rapping. You know what I'm saying? It's just like all the girls know these dudes, and but it was always love and respect with them. Like, you know what I'm saying? They respected who I was. Like we would always be in the studio together. They would come to our studio. We used to have a studio on Appleton, right off Capitol or whatever, that I ended up buying from a dude named Fame at I-94. I ain't spoke to him since, but hope he doing well. Got a studio from him, and I messed with my guys, like Rail Beats, Bags, Young Dev, Pizzle, he go by Sherrod Sloans now, Bizness Boi, Hardaway, Renz, Dooch.
Shout out to Dooch.
That was the people that I was with all the time. So in that time period, all of us, you know, you would go to the studio and be like, oh, I got a new song. And it'd be like, that ain't really you, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you wasting your time pretty much. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just stick to what you do. But it was for certain that we was chasing. Everybody chased it. You know what I'm saying? Because you seen the result of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember you told a story one time. I forgot where we were. I don't know if it might have been my birthday party back in like 2019, but we were talking one time and you was telling me about how you work with like Bizness Boi and I think you knew Cardo and some of these other names that like real big, like Grammy winning names now. You told us, I think you were in Miami with somebody. I don't know if it was Biz or what. He said you was about to get on the elevator and like Pharrell walked out.
Oh yeah.
Just no, what's been some of your experiences?
Oh my bad. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, what some of the experiences you had, with some of the names you named being in Milwaukee that have now gone on the move to like LA and these other areas that are just like kind of taking off. But what's some of the experiences you've had getting exposure to these producers who have gone on to have these contributions at such a major level? What have you learned from that? What have been some of those experiences? You know, how has that shaped your music now?
The craziest thing is that like I went to Vincent with Bizness Boi, so he was I think 2 grades under me maybe. So I think I was a senior when he was a sophomore. And I went to Vincent with Rail. Rail was probably a freshman though. So Rail Beats is the one that made the beat to Bow. So if everybody don't know. So I went to Vincent with both of those guys. We didn't really have that much of a rapport though. Like I was older, I was locked in to hooping. I really wasn't even. I was rapping, but I really wasn't locked in to rapping like that.
Yeah.
I don't even know how much they were into. I knew Bizness Boi was rapping at the time. I know he was producing a little bit too, but I don't know how serious he was taking it at the time because, like I said, I was really locked in to hooping. But got an opportunity to meet Pizzle. So how I met Pizzle was he had a manager named Melvin White. Shout out to Melvin. He a basketball coach in LA right now. And my cousin SP Sean Palmer, we used to call him SP. I used to just always be rapping for him or whatever. He was like, "Dog, I got some people for you to. I want you to go battle somebody." I'm like, "Battle?" I'm like, "All right, for sure." Like whatever. And we ended up going to this spot. You know what I'm saying? In Milwaukee on the west side, and Pizzle was there. I didn't know Pizzle at the time. And just instantly, it wasn't really much words exchanged or nothing like that. They instantly throw on a beat. We just get the rapping, going back and forth and all of this. And I remember after we got done rapping, Pizzle, because Pizzle was like rapping off of his phone at the time, and he was looking at me. Afterwards, he was talking to me. He was like, "Man, He's like, dog, you remember all of them raps like that? And I was like, yeah, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just, you know what I'm saying, just be remembered. Dog, I cannot do that. And then like just from that little small conversation, we chopping it up for like 2 hours. He letting me hear his album that he was putting together and stuff like that. Just, you know, kind of like gaining a mutual respect for each other. And then of course, like left that night and I ended up seeing him a couple of times around and we just ended up linking or whatever. But he is the one that brought me to the studio that we ended up buying. And Bizness Boi was there the day. So we chopped it up again. Just linking up again, Dev, Rail, and all the producers were there. Bags. It was just a whole bunch of producers. And from that day, we was at the studio every day. Like, all of us, just
Dope.
you know, back and forth, in and out. You know what I'm saying? We working on records, we doing records. Then, like I said, we eventually got an opportunity to rent the studio out ourselves. So me and Pizzle pretty much, you know what I'm saying, did that. So now we just cooking all day, every day. I could end up quitting my job. I used to work at a check cashing place. Ended up quitting my job, just doing music full fledged. So we just locked into the studio. We working on projects, singles, doing all of this stuff. So during that time, though, it was an opportunity for us to, you know, learn how to go about doing stuff in the music business, music industry, I guess you would say. Just as far as like, all right, now we got these records. Now we got to go out and talk to people. We got to do some shows. We got to meet some people. We got to meet the who's. And so we would just go around and doing all of that. And what I learned early into it is like Bizness Boi was super, super savvy. Like super savvy. Like I always say, like, you know what I'm saying, and this is no knock to nobody. I think like out of all of the producers that we had, I think Rail was probably the most talented. I think Bags was probably like my favorite. And just Dev, just his drive was just crazy as far as like the production, as far as like how many beats he can make in a time frame. Like he would make like 10 beats, bro, and we've been there for like an hour. And I'm like, dog, you are cooking. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. But Bizness Boi just had a different savviness about him, where it's like he understands the business of it. Like he understand like, all right, I gotta do this stuff. I gotta, you know what I'm saying, move this way. I gotta, you know what I'm saying, and I could see earlier, I'm like, I know like he got a real chance of being successful. Yeah. So even when he moved, because he had moved eventually to like Atlanta, and, like seeing his grind and seeing all of the stuff he was doing down there, I'm like, dog got it. He got it. And like dog was like, he had crazy faith. Like he'll tell you himself, like he moved down there, he had no cash like that, he had no money. So he moved down there on crazy faith. And like you see how God worked. But just seeing that, then being able to travel. So going to Atlanta, Pizzle was like a little ahead of me as far as like knowing who he was, as far as in his music. So, you know, we gravitated to Pizzle a lot. Like most of the rappers, most of the beat makers. And he ended up getting like a situation with the Honorable C.N.O.T.E in Atlanta. So we ended up going to, I think it's called AC3. It's a festival, and it's a music festival in Atlanta. So we ended up going down there, and we down there. We in the studio with Honorable C.N.O.T E. Honorable C.N.O.T E, if people don't know, he the dude that did like all of the Migos projects, some of 2 Chainz stuff. He got plenty work in Atlanta. Like he got platinum plaques, gold plaques, everything you want. So we down there working with him. In the studio every day. We just working, chopping. He ended up putting Pizzle on he had a mixtape coming out like that weekend. We ended up going down there, they rushed. Pizzle threw a verse on a song, and we just out at the strip clubs in the parking lot just handing out his mixtape. You know what I'm saying? Just chilling. And we go back to the studio, make some more music or whatever. But the craziest thing is that like upon us going down there, we ended up meeting Cardo. So Cardo, we in the studio, we playing music, we you know what I'm saying, we just chopping it up, we just doing what we do. And he's like, man, I like y'all, boom, 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 we chopping it up, we kicking it, you know what I'm saying, for a couple days. We ended up coming back to Milwaukee, and like a week or 2 later, like we got emails like, Cardo, like, hey man, hop on these real quick. So he just sending us beats. And of course, you know what I'm saying, knowing how the industry work now, like of course he's sending us our throwaways, like his throwaways or whatever. Like he's sending us the ones that like all the other guys, you know what I'm saying, in the industry don't run, which was cool. I'm like, hey man, I need an opportunity.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So
still a Cardo beat.
We was working. Right. You know, we was getting work. So dropped a couple records with him, ended up meeting with him again. where did we was in LA. Ended up meeting with a dog. And that's the craziest story. Like we all link up in LA. So we was meeting Cardo. I can't remember what we was meeting for, but I'm talking about we deep. I mean, bro, look, it's probably about 11 of us. All five, six producers, all 5 rappers. We got one hotel room, fam. We in there cramped. You hear me? Hey, we going to Walmart getting sleeping bags, like, cause like, y'all know how it is, man. LA ain't no fool.
Ain't
like,
no fool.
It's expensive out there.
Absolutely.
And we was broke. We trying to take advantage of any opportunity we can get. So, hey, man, you better go get a sleeping bag. Hey, sleep in your coat, whatever. You know what I'm saying? We waking up 2 hours early because all 9 of us trying to take a shower. So just going out there, being able to see how these dudes work, and it was like Cardo in there cooking. Like we in the studio, he cooking, he doing his thing. We meeting, dog. We met so many like Grammy nominated producers and stuff. We met like the dudes from the Heat Makers. Of course, Cardo C.N.O.T.E. I think it was Black Thought or something like that, and just people just walking in there, bro. Like it's just people. I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you who all these people were, but just having that and just seeing how it worked, and just seeing how these dudes are relentless, bro. These dudes working nonstop. They didn't, you know what I'm saying, take no breaks. You know what I'm saying? Studio go promote, studio doing a press run, press release, like whatever they had to do. So that was interesting to have that experience because, like I said, like after we ended up, you know what I'm saying, because me and us, we split eventually. But the craziest thing was we was working with Cardo. I think I went to Houston to see my son for like 3 or 4 months. Came back to Milwaukee after that, and Cardo was on the Grammys with Drake.
That's crazy.
I'm like, bro, like I couldn't predict that, like, but I do remember before that moment though. He had produced that Jay-Z and Jeezy. I done seen it all.
Oh, okay. Yep. I was just listening to that the other day. Literally.
Yeah, so I knew he was on his way. I knew he was on his way for sure. But it was like, dang, like he hit like that, like. But and then after that, it's just all she wrote. It was a plethora of records he was on after that. But then just like Miami was a Rico Love thing.
Yes.
So,
okay. Rico Love.
So Rico, I met Rico Love when I was actually going to Whitewater. He came up there to host like a freestyle competition. And I'm hooping, like I said, I'm hooping at the time. Like, my guy Gio, shout out to Gio Riley, he hit me like, hey dog, Rico Love and them coming up here. You should go do the freestyle thing or whatever. I'm like, all right, whatever, cool. Went up there. Ray Nitty was actually with Rico Love at the time. So I go down there, spit bars, I end up winning the little thing, the freestyle competition. Matter of fact, I want to make sure I shout out The World Is Watching. Devon D was there too. So ended up doing that. I connected with him after that. And then we had some years later, we had a cypher, Avo and Draylon. They had the cypher in the barbershop on Center Street. This was R.I.P. Cali Chris. This one, he was alive. So he kicked the cypher off. Ray Nitty went next. I think I was next. Blizz McFly was on there. And then R.I.P. Tay Gutter. Tay Gutter was on there. So we in the shop. And I never even told this story. I'm going to give y'all exclusive.
Exclusive.
First time I ever told somebody this. So we in the shop. Cali Chris, he on a tangent. He got beef with somebody or whatever. And so he write his bars. He get off. You know what I'm saying? Ray Nitty go up there. He do his thing. Me at the time, I'm working on this rap or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like how I got invited to the actual cipher was from Avo. Avo called me like, hey man, hey, you could come to do this cipher tonight. And I'm like, all right, it's like 11 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, all right, cool. I've been working on this rap though for like 2 days.
Yeah.
So my turn come up in the cipher. I'm telling you, like, hey, I got haymakers. I'm like, oh, I'm finna tear this thing up. So I get up there, first couple bars come off. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going boom, boom, boom. Choke.
Oh.
I'm sitting there like, oh my God, bro. The shop jam packed, bro. I'm telling you, everybody in the city in the shop. So real quick, I get myself back together, and then I ended up delivering. Like So I bought some bars. Don't get it twisted. I ended up finishing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I ended up coming back to the cipher maybe like 2 months later, and then I did the original one that I was supposed to do. And I remember Champ was filming it. Champ was like, Champ came up to me after I did it. He was like, "Dog, I remember." He was like, "I see you. You caught it back and did the one that you were supposed to do." He was like, "But bro, if you would have did that with the first one, like you know what I'm saying? Like he was like,
yeah.
like you would have." Like I don't get it twisted. I held my own in the cipher, and I always thought about this. Like, dang, dog, because that was the biggest cipher. So we got the most views. We was over like 14,000 views in like a week or
Oh,
something
wow.
like that. Rico Love calls in. He shouts everybody out that did the cipher. He on V100 talking about the cipher, like and just talking about it or whatever. And he ended up, just connecting with Piz and me, or I don't forgot how it went or whatever. But you know what I'm saying, we ended up getting a chance to meet him and be in Miami and do all of that stuff. So just being able to meet, like I think Pizzle was at the time was supposed to be getting on a record with Young Chris
Okay. Yep.
at the time from the Rock, whatever. And Brandy and Monica was in the studio, and Pharrell was outside doing whatever. Ryan Leslie was there.
Shout out to Ryan Leslie.
Yeah, I was stacked.
He was doing, I guess he was doing like, Rico. The funniest thing, Rico Love, I guess I said like, he wanted to show, like, you know what I'm saying, just being a person from Milwaukee, just be like you could do this too, I guess. And just was like showing receipts for like what people was paying for, like for their studio time. And he showed a receipt for 60 G's for like writing a song and all that. I was like, Jesus Christ. And then I guess he like, what did he say? He said, I'm gonna blow it all tonight.
Oh.
Blew it all up. Rick Ross and French Montana was next week. He sent them like some big old, some rose the size of my body. I ain't never seen a body that big in my life. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, just being able to.
That's crazy.
Yeah, just being able to have those experiences.
That's
and then
dope.
just looking back at it, just it's a blessing, bro. Of course, there's plenty of situations and people I'm missing. I know, and I apologize, but we'll get to it.
All of that though, the thing that went through my mind was, and how I got a chance to experience Rico Love. He did I want to say a symposium, something like that. We was at the it was sponsored by V100. It was in 2008, 2009ish, I want to say, because that was around the time I was getting ready to graduate high school. And this when Jeremiah was on the come up. Dondria was there. And it was like a songwriter boot camp, whatever, things like that. But they started to talk about ASCAP and other things like that. Throughout that whole experience that you were going through, did you know about ASCAP? Did you know about split sheets? Did you know about all those things that, a lot of people don't, the producers, and I'm not saying them, I'm just saying in general, I'm speaking in general terms now, so I don't want nobody, Rico, whatever, this Negro. No, but like just the things that people don't really talk about when it comes to the creative side of music, where somebody will come in and say, hey, make a beat or come in here and rap, but then the beats get done, and then next thing you know, the song is now platinum, you get all these plaques, and you got no credit for it. Did anybody sit you down and talk to you about all that stuff, or did you kind of learn on the fly, or how did that go?
In the beginning, absolutely not. Nobody. Like, never even heard of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it was just being a novice.
Yeah.
Yep. You get together, guys are beat makers at the time. You don't even call them producers. Like, he make beats. That's all you call them. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, he make beats. I rap. We're going to make a beat. We're going to rap. We're going to upload it on SoundCloud. And that's that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's it. So this is the most important part where I talk about not having any like real people that even necessarily been in the industry at the time. You got to think like Rico Love was just starting off. I think he was on 106 in Park in 2006 or 7 or something like that when he was releasing his stuff. Cuckoo Cow. I don't know where Cuckoo Cow was. Like, you know what I'm saying? Baby Drew and all of them dudes. I didn't have no real relationship with them. I respect them. They're the OGs. They definitely brought history to the city. But like as far as like just learning the music business, I'm not gonna say it wasn't no people that could teach us. I just don't think that it was very many on the north side of Milwaukee. So, you just had a whole bunch of people just, just doing music.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't really getting anywhere because at the end of the day, now of course I know, you got to have some PR, some marketing, some, be able to know contracts and stuff like that. But that's why to bring back up the point where I talk about Bizness Boi savviness. The first time I ever heard about a split sheet was from Bizness Boi.
Mm.
We had ended up moving our studio to Trio, to the Running Rebels organization. Trio,
Yeah, Cardo
and
talked about that one time.
yeah, Bizness Boi had ended up. He was just sending me like little beats and was like, "Hey man, if you can make some hooks real quick, or you got some bars or something, I'm trying to just do some songwriting stuff." Send it back to me, boom, 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 and then right after he sent me that, he sent me some split sheets. And I'm looking at this like Chinese map. I'm like, I don't know what is this? Like, you know what I'm saying? And just reading over it, and it's talking about percentages and who gets what and all of this stuff. And then looking into that, I'm like, dog, what? Talking to him, like, I don't even think I talked to him. I think I just emailed him back, like, bro, you got any other paperwork or something you can send me? And like, bro, just started just sending me stuff. And I'm reading it, not knowing what a lot of it means.
Yeah.
But I take it to somebody. Can't remember who I took it to at the time, but we sit down. They like, oh man, you need to have somebody to do this and do that. So then it just be like, all right, we got to go get some managers. We got to go get some lawyers. We got to go get some all of this stuff. That was like nobody talks about this stuff when you just in the city, just rapping and doing all of this. So I think that, like I said, if that structure was started before any of the rapping or even in the beginning stage of the rapping, the turnout is way different.
Yeah.
You get a whole different result. And maybe some guys, and I'm not even saying me, like I'm just saying maybe some of these talents from the city in that time frame would have probably made it a lot further than what they would.
Yeah.
Just because you guys know, like now, if your business is not in order, you're not gonna be able to do nothing.
Yeah.
And you can go viral, but you ain't gonna make no money. So you're gonna not make no money. Somebody else is profiting off you, and you just got to go viral again. You're gonna keep trying to like they don't work. The business don't work the way that people's minds do. You got to have your business in order. So
yeah.
No, that's real, man. You and we're gonna get into our vibe talk segment here in a little bit, but coming through all these experiences, spending time with Cardo, and a few months later, you have a son, and then a few months later, Cardo at the Grammys with Drake. Man, what the word? What I miss? But no, all these people you got to meet, learning the game from Bizness Boi. And we're gonna let people hear in a little bit too. You definitely got the skills and everything. You mentioned, you left your job and really kind of started, pursuing the music thing full time. And then, at some point, just cause I know you personally, something shifted. So so what was that shift? What was that moment that that maybe you had to pivot? And not necessarily go full force into the music and hit that grand stage at that time. And now you're getting back into it more. But what was that pivotal moment for you, or what was the shift in your career?
I think you could just start off at the point like when I told y'all we went to LA and we were super deep like that. Just being on Hollywood Boulevard. We was on Hollywood Boulevard pretty much every night. Went through some other places too. Just seeing how the game worked.
Yeah.
I think what I realized was I wasn't willing to sacrifice some of the things other people were. And I'm not talking about like money or time. Of course, I was willing to sacrifice that. But I think when you get to certain spaces and certain places, and you beginning to make a name for yourself, and you at that point where it's like, okay, the next step. You know what I'm saying? You a big dog or something like that. It was man. I seen some crazy things in LA. I won't really go in deep on it, but like I think my trip to LA was really eye opening for me. But I will say this: so the last day we was there, I think we was going to like a dispensary or something like that, and I remember just us having this conversation about how the trip was and how we felt about it and stuff. Bizness Boi, he was like, "Bro, I'm moving here in 3 months." And I'm like, "Bro, what?" I'm like, "Bro, I swear I love LA. I want to come with you. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want to come too. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you do it for real, bro, I swear to God, I'm going to do it." Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we leave, get back home, and life hit.
Yeah.
The team that I had, as far as like the musicians that I was with, we wasn't really like seeing eye to eye no more. Like, um, how it is with big groups of people, boys,
Yeah.
men.
Yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Ego, all of this stuff. And
Yep.
I used to live by this. I used to say this all the time. I was like, I don't care which number I got to be on the team. I'll be that as long as we, you know what I'm saying, can
The
get to where
team.
we got to get.
Yeah.
I ain't have
Yeah.
that kind of ego. But like, it takes a big person to be that. And I'm not saying I'm bigger than nobody else, but what I'm saying is, you all know how it feels to be on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever role you got, you take that role and you master that role without
Right.
no ego and pride behind it.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, then you're gonna be destructive. You know what I'm saying? And I think I had that mentality, but a lot of the other rappers, they didn't necessarily have that mentality. They wanted to be the guy. I used to always hear people saying, "I want to be the one to put Milwaukee on," and do like where it was just like, dude, we're not gonna get nowhere like that. So then it becomes like you going through all of this time of doing music, and you know what I'm saying, and you're not really getting the results you want. You're getting some result, but you're not necessarily getting what you want. Then it becomes, guys having, hidden agendas and people being jealous of each other. And so I'll tell you this though, like, so we ended up losing our studio. Months into the studio thing, like for the most part, me and Pizzle was pretty much, busting down the ring or whatever. And it got to a point where it was like, dog, I got a kid. Pizzle had a kid. He had another kid on the way. Um, I had just moved into a loft with my son's mother. And it was like, bills was, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I told you, I quit my job. So,
Yeah.
we having meetings and just talking. And it's just like, oh, you got to tell people, like, dude, people is coming in this studio and recording full albums, mixtapes. They're doing whatever they want. Everybody had a key. We doing whatever. And it's like, bro, I got a 50 a month, bro. 50 a month. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I got you, bro. I got you, bro. Then it's just like people don't come, and then we ended up, covering for them for months and months and months. Then it got to the point where I was like, dog, I'm going home, and you know what I'm saying? She ain't trying to hear this no more. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It just is what it is. Like, bro, we got to shut down operation, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't holding their weight, holding their end of the bargain. So that's how we ended up, separating that. They ended up going to trio with the Rebels, but only a couple of us transitioned to it. But I think like after that point, it got to now we in somebody else's space. You know what I'm saying? We got to move the way they want us to move. We got to operate the way, and I just wasn't used to it, and I didn't like it. So of course, I continued to do music, but I just wasn't as passionate about it with my experiences. Like I said, from what I seen from the times being in Atlanta and LA, and what people were willing to do to be somebody, and the snakes and the backstabbing and people lying to you and people, saying just doing all type of crazy stuff. And it was just like, dog, is this something that you really want? And then at the time, like just being clearly opened up with what we talking about. It was like I was going through a situation where, we was doing all of this touring. We going cities and doing all of this stuff, and it's like I'm not happy. You know what I'm saying? I'm drinking a little bit more than I usually drink.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We getting high to not be creative no more. We just getting high. Like, you know what I'm saying? We going out of town and we supposed to show up at venues and be going to South by Southwest, showing up at these places and doing all. Instead, we not even we. People making priorities to, oh, let's go over here, get some weed and go to Waffle House. And then now we an hour and a half late, people looking at us crazy. And it just wasn't fun no more.
Yeah.
So it's like you get back to the city and it's like, I love it. I love what I do. I love all of this. I gotta find myself again though.
Yeah.
My identity is too far into these people. You know what I'm saying? I'm losing who I am now. Like, you know what I'm saying? So just having that conversation with myself, and just being like, all right, you know what I'm saying? I'm okay. I could be done with it and start figuring out some other things. But along the way, we used to always talk about the money side of things, like, cause we was broke.
Yeah.
It was like we made a lot of music, we didn't have a lot of videos. You know what I'm saying? Because why? Every time you call it, I think the hottest videographer in the time was Philly Flyboy at the time. So shout out to Philly. Philly always been a cool dude, a great guy. But his price is his price. I think it don't even matter what the price is. If you say $300, $500, $600, $1,000, you ain't trying to pay it if you ain't really got no bread. So I used to always just remember us like, dog, like we never had no visuals. So just starting to look into it, think about it. I ended up, having a girlfriend at the time. We ended up moving and just like, dog, I was living a good life, bro. I'm living a good life. I'm working. I'm making a decent wage. Life is good. My son was living with me at the time. And it hit me. I had that burning, you where it's like, all right, you ain't doing nothing creative no more.
Yeah.
Like, you just working and taking care of your family and taking care of your whatever you got to do. But now you want to do something. Like, and it's just like, what can you do? It's like, man, you know what? I'm gonna buy a camera and just start, taking pictures and stuff, filming stuff, learning how to do that. So go through the whole process of that. Then I was in my head like, what you gonna do as far as like a business or because you ain't that good. You ain't Philly Fly Boy. You ain't this person. You ain't that person. It's like, do you really want to show the world your skills? Do you really want to try to pursue this? And you go back and forth with yourself and just talking about, man, what should I do? So one day I just was fed up. I came home. It was 2017. I just came home. I just made an LLC. Didn't even care. I'm like, you gotta do it, bro. My picture quality started getting good. You know what I'm saying? My editing was getting good. And I'm just like, all right, the only way you're gonna really be able to do it, just go start, get your stuff together, get an LLC, do all of that stuff. And then that's when Our Difference Is Defined finally came alive. So it's been 6 years now. I didn't actually do anything as far as put out any content or anything until 2 years later, though, in 2019.
Wow. Yeah, in 2019 is when we had the. If my timeline is hold on. Let me not start tripping here. Share the Vibes. No, that was 2020. I think when we did Share the Vibes Awards in person, the first Share the Vibes Award show. Or was that 2021? Share the Vibes Fest was 2022. So yeah, Share the Vibes Awards was 2021.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah. So you started putting stuff out 2019, and then I think we linked up for the first time on a professional level 2021 with Share the Vibes Awards. When we did the award show. And then we did the festival, which you actually performed at the inaugural Share the Vibes Festival. Actually, if you go back into the podcast episodes, within like those first 8, one of those was a quick conversation with Jay after he performed live at Share the Vibes Fest. So, let's talk about that a little bit, man. So you've been rocking with us now a couple of years. You performed at our inaugural Share the Vibes Fest. You've been our videographer and our photographer pretty much all the events we've had up until this point. And to what you were just saying, even with our Share the Vibes journey, you can see the growth and the quality and the work you're doing and know the shots you're getting. So hopefully we're able to make some shake again this year too. But what's been your experience with Share the Vibes? I'm not even just going to say Share the Vibes Fest. I'm just going to say what's been your Share the Vibes experience? Because you've been with us pretty much since the beginning at this point, and been seeing the growth year over year. From all aspects. So what's been your Share the Vibes experience?
I think one of the most important things for me as far as like what we value in my opinion is community. So the first time I even came to the Share the Vibes, I ain't gonna lie, I was overwhelmed. I'm like, do I belong here? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, at the time, I'm like, bro, I'm a novice, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know what I'm doing, but I don't know some of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? My quality ain't up to the standard that I would like it to be. But I got there, you know what I'm saying? Wiped my little sweat beads off and we got to it. But just being there, man, like I said, bro, it opened up my eyes to a lot of things too as well. Because I'm always trying to evolve, always trying to work on myself. But like me and Clint, like, man, I'm telling you, like the last month and a half, 2 months, this is all we've been talking about. It's like building community. And I'm like, I always bring up Share Your Vibes just for that. Because when I come, I'm seeing all of these people from different spaces, from different areas in the city that like I never see these people together ever. Like,
that's the truth. That is the truth.
You know what I'm saying? I see them here now, so it's just like, okay, what you sit back and you look at it, and then you look at the landscape of things. And you're like, what is he really doing here? Okay, it's a share your vibe. It's a music festival kind of thing. They doing this, but it's more happening here. It's
Mm-hmm.
not just what's on the surface level of it. So go home after that, come back, we do the next one and the next one and the next one, and I'm like, dog, like these groups of people that keep coming in, it keeps shocking me. It's like, bro, like I've never seen these people together, and they just keep coming, and it's always a good vibe. They come support, they come, you know what I'm saying, tell their story, they come even sell some of their stuff and some of their merch, and you got always got food and stuff there. So it'd just be like it'd be a super dope thing for me because I feel like the reason that a lot of things in Milwaukee don't happen is because people want to necessarily do it themselves.
Mm.
And it's just like, bro, it's a community of people that have resources that could come help you do what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it could be done in less time and it'll be way easier because some of these burdens or some of these things that you need to do will be taken off of your plate and still be done at a high quality.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I just think that Share Your Vibe exemplifies all of that to me. Where it's just be like, bro, I done made so many connections just from doing the Share Your Vibes. I done did 5 or 6 other different, you know what I'm saying, events just from being there. And it's like they're all different kinds of events. None of them
Mm-hmm.
are like Share Your Vibes, but I think that that's speaks to what Share Your Vibes is. Like just being able to put all of those people in one space and be able to network, to be able to build off of each other, to be able to hey, I got this contact here from Share Your Vibes. I got this
Yeah.
contact. I got this contact.
Yeah.
Be able to be like, oh man, you need somebody to do that here. Here, dude is right here. Like, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that's super dope.
Man, it means more than you know to hear that. Cause I don't know one day I had the conversation, but I had the conversation with some people just like I just been in my head a lot lately. Like, man, am I doing the right thing
Yeah.
here? Do I need to do this? It's like stuff going on personally, and that starts to get in your mind business side and all this good stuff. Um, so it's I'm glad all these conversations we're having this year seem to be centered around purpose and
Yep.
passion, and you mentioned individuality earlier and how that being kind of like the foundation of our creativity. So I'm glad you said those things because that's exactly what this is all about. We're using music and technology as the vehicles, but the goal is building community and relationships that fosters more positive things that comes out of this. So I'm so glad to hear you say that, man. It's just confirmation
So,
that I definitely
yes,
need to hear
sir.
in this season. So thank you for that. Before we hop into Vibe Talk, what was the experience like performing at the inaugural Share the Vibes Fest? And then speak to the experience of being at the second one last year. You were a videographer, photographer again, but what was it like performing at the first one? And then what was it like experiencing the festival the second time around?
I think performing the first time, it was like, oh, bro, you finna hop back in this bag? Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got on no stage. I was like, and then I was just at the place where like you asked me to do it, so I was just like, I'm gonna just say it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to do. I did want to do it, but you asked. I'm like, all right, cool, I'll do it, whatever. So just talking to myself before, just like, dang, oh, you finna hop back in this bag. This gonna drive something. This gonna stir something up. This gonna you ain't just finna perform and just throw it back away, like or whatever. So just being there and just always a little nervous performer. I mean, I think that's normal for artists. He's just a little bit nervous. As soon as the music cut on, you hop in your bag and it just is what it is. But I
Yeah.
think that like the audience gauging the crowd, stuff like that. Like they always seem so supportive. Like you know what I'm saying. Even though they didn't necessarily know some of the songs that I was doing, um, they standing up, they moving with you, they making noise, you know what I'm saying? You say something that they like, they hey, ooh, like you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. So, like I said, I mean, it's a vibe. Like what your shirt say, it's the vibes. Like the place when you come in, it's gonna be a vibe. Like most definitely. Like you know what I'm saying? It's gonna always be a vibe. It's gonna always be some good energy. It's gonna be some good people. So performing, I think it was nice for me to get back in that bag, like I said, be able to rap some of my music, and just get that reaction from the crowd. Just all makes it feel better. I think the next event though, um, wait, because we did the what was it
After the
What was the one
festival,
called when you had the Music and Technology Fest, right?
yeah, that's Share the Vibes Fest. So yeah, that's where you performed, and then that September we
Oh yeah,
did.
that
I
is
think
where I performed. Okay.
it was Sunday
But no, I thought
vibes.
it was dope. I thought it was
Mhm.
dope for that aspect because I was actually filming and I performed that day. So
Yep, yep.
I remember at the beginning they was doing I guess you would say like the virtual reality thing.
Yeah, the
You
Web
had a
Three Workshop.
presentation up there too. But it's just like once again, man, just speaking to community, bro. All of these resources being brought into this one place, and people being able to tap in with it. I think just me being there was super, super dope, dog. Like, and like I said, performing was a plus, and the vibe is always dope. The one at the Miramar, same thing, bro. Just like it just keep getting better. And like I think I told you that even at the last one, I was like, it keep getting better. You keep finding ways to bring in more creativity because like you had the dancers and all of that stuff. And it's just like as long as you keep wholeheartedly doing it this way, bro. Like the sky's the limit for you, bro.
Absolutely. Now, thank you for being part of the journey this long, man.
Oh yeah, we rock it. We locked in now. I tell people, I'm like, look, I say, look, bro, like, hey, look, it's two things in the city that's like, no, well, I gotta say maybe three or four. Now, I said I mark my calendar every year whenever Share the Vibe's supposed to happen. That's locked in. Ain't nobody taking that time slot. I do all county basketball tournament, which if people don't know what that is. It's a basketball tournament that's been going on. I think it's 18 years this year.
Okay.
Started off at just a small park, man, from the neighborhood guys. Is ran by Turner Barkey and E. They do a great job. They've been doing a phenomenal job. It's a basketball tournament where people compete for. Last year it was 20,000.
Oh, wow.
It was 10,000 for a little minute. It was 20,000 last year. So every year it keeps getting better. Like that's also another event that I'm just locked into every year.
Is that the 1-on-1, 3-on-3s?
No, it's 5-on-5.
5-on-5. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's a whole full basketball game. 2 halves, real refs. It's cracking.
Okay.
Packed house. With that, and then I do Kevin Looney basketball camp every year. Like them 3 events. Then I think shout out to Kevin Looney and the Running Rebels. Thank them for having me because it's always a dope vibe with them too, though.
Absolutely. No, that's dope, man. So we're gonna come back to our differences defined and some of the things you got going on. I'm here in a second, but we gotta hop into our vibe talk segment. We can't get out of here without digging into the crates a little bit.
Yes.
Checking out some of the the vibes you put out. And then we'll talk about what you got in store. But what we like to do with our Vibe Talk segment, especially for those who are artists or work with music or have some type of connection to it, we like to play about maybe 3 or 4 songs that you have out. Not the full song, a little clip. Let the people hear it, and then let you tell us either the story behind it, something unique about how it came together, or whatever it is you feel you want to share as it relates to that song for the listeners. So we're going to get into it. So what song you would want us to play first?
Oh, you want me to pick the song?
Oh,
too?
yeah, you got to. But I do got a favorite one too now.
I wasn't ready. Well, let's go to your favorite one first.
All right.
How about that? Then I'll pick.
Well, I mean, for those that did, those that listening, y'all didn't hear pre-production, but that's the song we kept playing the whole entire time, try to get it right. But yeah, that's my jam right there. Okay, so this is No One Like Me.
They say life is like a gamble, feel like I'm betting back on the 10-4. Even at the red light, I'm on green, so I just tend to go. Just dropped off like 3Ks, I ain't worried about these niggas, bro. The baby got that juice, so if it's beef, I put him in a scope. Phone on D&D, cut off my chicks, they think I lost touch. Totaled out my whip, ran up like 20, man, I bossed up. Baseline in that R8, I crash it, that won't cost much. My bitch, she bout that cash, it ain't about paper, she won't talk much. I'm a big deal, Miss Mills to Chase Mills. Used to skip school, fuck field trips, we in the field, ayy. Play it high, go, won't let no lame nigga talk down on me. No more counting paper, we just wear it like a pound on me. Pound for pound, break me down. I been the hardest, they hit the range. The shoot, we get in range. Them niggas targets unexplainable, I'm unobtainable. Ho, get off me. Only got one time for me to question your love. That's when you lost me. Not too flashy, I stay low, don't need attention. These the trenches. Them bloggers catch you shining coppers, handing out a sentence. I hear that they been
Woo-wee.
Yeah.
When I tell you,
Yes, sir.
you were
Yes, sir.
spitting. I can just get a glimpse of what that cipher was like back in the day at that barbershop on Center. Woo-wee.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, talk a little bit about that. So that
cipher,
came out during the pandemic too. I don't know if you recorded it during the pandemic, but it came out during the pandemic. So please talk about that.
The craziest thing, bro, like I was working corporate America with him. I was working at Coca-Cola, man. And it was a time, like I said, like I was just, living a regular life. I really wasn't making music. And one of my former friends ended up coming to work up there with me. He was just talking to me all the time, just like, "Oh, you ain't doing music no more." I'm like, "Bro, I really ain't. I ain't got it. I ain't feeling it." Boom, boom, boom. And long story short, I ended up driving to work one day. I don't know what happened, man. I spent out on the freeway, car crashed into like a pole or something like that. I ended up going to the hospital. Like I had some fractured ribs. I was on bed rest for like a good 3 weeks maybe. But I'm at the crib, toe up, hurt. And the craziest thing happened, man. Just at the time, people I was dealing with, as far as like even like relationships with females, friends, stuff like, bro, nobody called me. Like nobody came to check on me. No, I was at the crib hurt. I'm in my feelings. And then all I could think about was just being able to talk and just being able to vent and express myself. And it was just like, I'm finna get back in the booth. I'm finna get back in the booth. Like, so that song was actually recorded with young Dave Flywalker. Shout out to Dave. I had went to him, after I got well and returned back to work or whatever. Got back with him, I was just like, bro, just turn on the beat and I'm just finna just say whatever comes to my head, bro. Like, because I got to the point where, like, in my music career, that like I don't even write raps no more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Of course, it's not freestyling, I guess, because like I do think about it and come up with concepts and stuff like that. And you stop and go every once in a while. But like, I just like, bro, I just want to rap. Just like, let me rap. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I get in there and I just start going. He like, bro, like what you on, bro? And I'm just like, oh man, I just need to rap, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got it out. And the next day I put it out, I just dropped it. I didn't even care. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't a thing for like, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't like trying to like make no hit or nothing like that. I'm just gonna put out some music. I'm just gonna do it and just put it out. And the reason it's called No One Like Me is because I felt like at the time I was just like, all these people turning their back on me, like they had never had nobody in their life like me though. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm finna let me bounce back real quick. Let me show them I ain't really like down like they think I'm down. Let me sit back up.
Dope.
Yeah, I remember when you put that out, cause like I say, we've been talking about music and everything that's 2020, so at least 3 years at this point, if not longer. I got to Milwaukee 2015, so we've been talking about his music, but I hadn't heard anything. So this is the first time I heard. I said, "Oh, he really liked that." Oh, bet. Like I didn't know, man. Oh man. So I mean, I heard that. I said, "Oh, he the truth." All right, we got something.
I appreciate that, bro. I remember like. It was one time I had showed up to like a party or event or something everybody was at, y'all friend group, and then I was there. I pulled up. And Clint ended up hitting me. He was like, "Cuz, these niggas don't believe you my cousin, bro."
I didn't.
He was like, "Bro, you cousins with Jae Ace?" Like, never. I'm like, bro. He's like, "Yeah, man, we grew up in the same house." I'm like, yeah, it's just funny, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? How we all, be separate doing our own thing, but when we come together, it's still good.
When you said it earlier, I was like, it's not that I didn't believe it. I was just like, oh, that's Milwaukee. Like, you bound to know somebody that knows somebody. And then when you said Clint, because I go to church with Clint, so it's like, okay, I see him every Sunday. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. All right, cool. But I didn't know. I didn't know until you said something. That's dope. I'm gonna tell him I talked to you this week. That's dope. Where we heading to next?
I'm gonna just go to Blame My Fears, man. I think like that after I really put the No One Like Me out and really got settled in and really started, getting back into the craft. I really put out a project that meant something a lot to me because, like I said, I had went through that little tragic event, and really had to find myself again and figure out who I was. So I put that project together, and I think my favorite record on there is probably "Right for You," maybe.
All right, right for you. Blame my fears. Let's go.
Eros, you know you're my favorite.
Let me get into your mind. I die inside your truths because I'm living through your lies. Truth be told, I'm always blinded when I look into your eyes. I can taste all of your lust disguised by love inside your thighs. Roll another wood, pour something good, sedate our minds. Don't worry about our future, live for now, let's take our time. Don't really want commitment, if you with it, let's just vibe. Say you don't do relationships, I can tell it's on your mind. But it ain't on mine. If I said that, then I'd be lying. But I don't trust that you would just be mine. So never mind that, let's just vibe. Hey, these are the songs that I would write for you. Yeah. These are the songs that I would write for you. Yeah. Hey. You're my safe spot in a whirlwind. At times I'm single with a girlfriend, yeah. But I can't let another girl in unless you with me till the world is. Hey, yeah. These are the songs I would write for you. I'm hoping that it's right for you. These are the songs I would write for you.
Talk about right for you. What was going on? Who you writing that for?
That's another one of them joints where it's like, I was in a space like, bro, like y'all know, y'all have experienced hurt,
Yep.
tragedy, everything.
Yep.
Like I don't know. I wouldn't say I know y'all that have been depressed or anything like that, but just being in your feelings, bro. Just
Yeah.
like,
Yep.
So even
Been
during
there.
this time, during this whole album process, it was like I had moved on from the job I was at. I had got another job that I was unhappy with. I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? I had, feelings about, like I said, like, I went through this little phase, and like I felt like nobody was checking on me. Nobody was, and I had like people that I was rocking with, like as far as relationships, from like my friends, and just a relationship with a lady. Like, so I think during that time when I was writing that song, I was just in a headspace of like, um, just opening up and being vulnerable to be like, all right, you know what I'm saying? If I had the opportunity to tell you something, this is what I would tell you. And if I had the point to write it down, this is how I would write it. You know what I'm saying? And just wanting to give myself closure to it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I made sure that I was able to express how I felt in that situation, and just being like, you know what I'm saying, like letting people I believe that you got to let people do whatever they want to do without, you know what I'm saying, without interruption, without interfering it. You always got to let people make their own choices. And though I was hurt, I still wanted to be like, here, I'm gonna give you something.
Yeah, that's deep. That's deep. And it kind of like you know, you mentioned earlier too, you know, writing poetry and things like that. Like, it sounds like you got into your poetry bag here, and it's just kind of getting really deep.
That's crazy you say that, because I actually, before I even came and started writing these raps or these songs, I had started releasing videos on Instagram of my videography work. This is how I would like try to cover up my videography where I thought I was lacking skills at and stuff like that. I would put it out, but I would put a poetry voiceover on.
Okay.
So like maybe if you ain't like video, I distract you with the word. Like or something like
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I put out like 4 or 5 different poetry videos on there, dog. It kind of made it easier to come and do the album after that.
That's dope. No, that's dope. That's dope. Where's you gonna take us? Take us somewhere. Unless Dev, you got something.
I want to go to hop in mode, but I don't know if you got.
Oh yeah. Let me go there. That's like, man, that's the one.
Hop in mode.
I love who I am. I hate who you see. Just touched down, back on road. Counting money, man, you know how it goes. Hit the VIP and tell my bitch to strike a pose. Hop in mode. Hop in mode. Touchdown, man, we back on road. Spending money, man, you know how it goes. Hit the VIP and tell my bitch to strike a pose. Hop in mode. Hop in mode. Truthfully, I know they wanna know what's up with me. Just living through all my mama words that stuck with me. I promise all the good girls got bad luck with me. Every time God send me an angel, the devil come for me. And I accept with open arms. Try being myself, but that only harms. But shit, they love me for me. That's my only charm. But I've been known to go up, so please don't be alarmed. Karma hit me every time, I never dare to run. I always give my best to the worst and give my worst to the better ones. From a place you willing to risk your life if you trying to live a better one. So before we'll get a job, we'll go and get a gun. Stick ups, drug sales, and kick those. You either hustle, got a jump shot, or spit flows. And most these lame niggas use their platform to get hoes. And scream M.O.B., but I ain't never seen them get dough. Just trying to attain the life I promised myself. Growing older helped me realize all I got is myself. Covered in Armani, black 40 tucked all in my designer belt. With a baddie with a million followers.
They got a platform to get hoes, but they still don't get no money though. Woo! Talk to us about hop in mode, man. What mode did you hop in?
Oh,
But I was fully recovered.
Yeah.
Mentally, I was back.
Yeah.
I was back. I was like, bro, look, hop in mode on their ass, folks. Let them know you back, baby. You know what I'm saying? No, I was just in a good headspace, bro. Like I said, I was back where I needed to be mentally and physically. And I just, you know what I'm saying? I was riding. I think, shout out to Orange Russell. We were actually driving to Atlanta to shoot the video to Love on the Bag. So we was driving to Atlanta, and I was playing music, and then I ended up just like, man, I'm just gonna listen to some beats real quick. Started listening to some beats, and all I could just think of was hop in mode. And then Orange was geeking me up. He's like, hop in mode, like boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, bro, when I get back to the crib, I'm gonna make this record or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we ended up driving down there. I'm talking about we drove all the way to Atlanta. Got there at like 8:00 at night. Shot the video. Right after we shot the video, we went to a truck stop, bro. Slept in the car for like 30, 45 minutes, bro. Like just to, get ourselves together, and then drove all the way back. I went straight to the studio.
Woo.
Didn't go home. I didn't even go home. I dropped him off straight to the studio. I'm like, I got to do this record, dog.
That's 12, 13 hours.
I in mode.
yeah.
Man, you was in the mode for sure. That's a long time. So you said you mentioned that you had a good memory because everybody asked you like, how do you remember those rap? How you remember your raps? Did you for hop in mode? That was going to Atlanta. Did you like put it in your voice note, or like you just kept that in your back of your mind? Like when I get back to the studio, I'm doing hop in mode.
Yeah, so I didn't have none of the verse or nothing. I only had I knew when I wanted to say hop in mode.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I just had a concept. I was in the hook with hop in mode, boom, 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 and then I just came back and just rapped it. Like I didn't write it down or nothing.
No, that's not. I mean, to even have it that long without writing it down, drop the video, stop at the truck stop, sleep for 30 minutes, head back to Milwaukee, then head to the studio. And be like, still hop in mode. That's impressive to me. That's impressive.
So why?
Yeah, it's a gift and a curse, bro. I will tell you this. I've forgot many of the things I wanted to do musically because I won't write it down, and I just rely on my memory.
Gotcha.
Well, so why'd you go to Atlanta to shoot the Love on the Bag video? And I guess we have to play.
Yeah, we have to play it. Yeah.
But why Atlanta? Why such a quick trip? Like why y'all couldn't spend the night and rest up for a day?
Blue Flame, Magic City,
Like that's not a turnaround. That's not a Chicago trip from Milwaukee.
Exactly. It's not.
That's a drive.
It's definitely not. That's a flight for me because I'm not driving that long.
Yeah.
I done drove to Atlanta so many times. I done drove to Atlanta plenty times. But at the time, what I wanted for Love on the Bag, I didn't want it to be like raunchy.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want it to be a video where it was like, all right, let's go to the strip club, let's have these girls butt naked, twerking everywhere, something like that. I didn't want to have that kind of visual. And at the time, this chick, Destiny, she was the only person I knew that that like did like choreography. So I tapped in with her, like, hey man, you know some people in Milwaukee that could do this, boom, boom, boom. She was like, I got a couple people. I looked them up. I really wasn't into, you know what I'm saying, what they had going on. So I was just like, man, well, you got anybody there? She was like, yeah. So I'm like, all right, well, we gonna shoot down. Me and Orange set it up. We supposed to buy flights and all of this stuff. You know how our people, our color do. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Either way, our situation got a little mixed up where it turned out that like we waited to the last minute, and I'm like, bro, I'm just finna go rent a car and we just finna drive, bro. And he like, well, we just gotta do what we gotta do. I'm like, all right, bet. So we ended up just going down there, ended up linking with my guy Corey. Like I took my next door neighbor, my best friend. He actually was in Atlanta at the time. He's still there now. So I linked with him for a little minute, got a haircut, you know what I'm saying, changed my outfit or whatever. And Destiny got the chicks. You know what I'm saying? They came, they made their own choreography for the dance, for the song, and did all of that stuff. We knocked the video out, and we was actually supposed to stay overnight and come back the next day. Yeah. But I don't know. I just was in mode. I just was like, I'm gonna go back home. Figure it out. He was like, he wasn't driving, so he was like, I don't care. I'm gonna go to sleep anyway. So it just didn't even matter.
Peace. All right.
Man, that's crazy.
Love on the bag. Let's talk about it.
All right.
If you love me, get a bag for me. Yeah, yeah. Ain't no sense in making love, baby girl, if your bag funny. I go get a bag for you. Yeah, yeah. And I know that you don't need it, but it's something that your man should make love on the bag, on the bag, on the bag, on the bag. You just go working, just from how you work it. Make love on the bag, on the bag, on the bag. Make love on the bag. Fight temptations from the devil, but she make me feel like God. My baby soft as butter, run to me when life get hard. See perfection in my stride. See me, she see no flaws. Hit the road and get that paper. Hit the sheets and still her heart. Clothes hit the ground, put your legs to the ceiling. You screaming so loud, baby, I don't care who hear it. Franklin's on the bed, it make that thing get wetter. She always coming back, she know she can't get better. Yeah. If you love me, get a bag for me. Yeah, yeah. Ain't no sense in making love, baby girl, if your bag funny. I go get a bag for you. Yeah, yeah. And I know that you don't need it, but it's something that your man should make love on the bag. On the bag,
on the bag, on the bag. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Melodies. Come on, man. Like, what was your thought process on that? I know we talked about the video, but that song itself.
Man, dog, I got so much respect for like T-Pain, bro. Like
that's what I hear.
Like even when we was doing you know, music back before people was using auto-tune and stuff like that, I used to always like try to sing a little bit or carry a melody and something like that. So when he broke in the door, like it made you like acceptable to start messing around with it and stuff like that. So it was always this running joke, man. My producer Bags, he went on the internet one day and was like, yeah, because everybody in the group, we used to be doing projects and I used to be singing my way through them. And he was like, dog, this nigga would not rap, bro. He won't rap. He just keeps singing on the songs and boom, boom, boom. Bags ended up getting on Facebook and he was like, I wish we would have stopped criticizing Jae Ace for getting on songs and singing, because now all of the songs that's out right now sound like him. Like we should have just let him keep singing. Like
yeah.
But you know, it's just crazy like how much the game has shifted in that respect, because like a lot of people are singing and doing versatile, you know, back and forth. But the inspiration behind that was like I wanted to make a sexy song, like I said, without being raunchy. And like it ain't really much profanity in it. And I wanted to also showcase skill as far as like I can really hold a note. Like if I need to. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't necessarily say I'm a singer, but I definitely can hold a note. So like I said, I just wanted to make something grown, sexy, and like I said, not raunchy, and you know, in that aspect.
Yeah, I always appreciate how artists are able to show their versatility. In their works. Now, we had Cardo at the Pulse song last year, and he was talking about that was his goal for that album he put out, which honestly was one of my favorite projects last year. Like not just locally, like that was just one of my favorite projects last year. Blue Hearts, go check that out if you haven't. 1J's on there too.
Okay.
I think it was Blue Hearts, right?
Yep.
It's Blue something. Cardo the Post, I think it's Blue Hearts. But he was saying like his goal for that album, like hey, if you say he got the best bars, it's great. If you say he got like the best flows, Blue Roses, Blue Roses, that was it, Blue Roses, not Blue Hearts, Blue Roses. Cardo the Post, check it out. But he's saying like if you love my flows, cool, you love my rapping, cool. But I want people to know like I can make a record, I can make a song, I know how to put this thing together, and show my versatility. Like I do this, so. That's what I love about all the songs we heard. Those were like 4 very different vibes, each one of them.
Yeah.
You hear the Snow Allegra influence on Hoppin' Mo. I ain't gonna say that too loud. I don't know if that's clear or not, but but you hear like the R&B influence on Hoppin' Mode and No One Like Me. And not hearing the story behind it, it makes so much more sense. Like you was really pissed off and just went in and let it out on the beat, and it came out. Man, then you got Love on the Bag, where it's sexy, it's a little more sensual, appealing to that softer side, something the ladies can vibe out to. We did Right for You, which is also kind of in that sentimental, introspective bag, but it's more shows your lyrical, your flow, your conceptual ability. But still while being smooth and something you can vibe out to. So I love the versatility, man. And I'm excited to see what's coming from you in the future, man. What you working on? Anything in the works? Anything we should be looking out for?
Yeah.
Man, the craziest thing, man, is like, dog, I got the itch right now. You know what I'm saying? It came back and hit me. Whereas like now I'm in a, since of course we done talked about this story, I'm just in a space where like I still crave to do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It ain't like a thing that I'm trying to get on or nothing like that. It's just like, this is like one of my creative things that I love to do. Like I still just listen to beats all the time. Like I to call one of the producers, like, hey man, send me some beats. I ain't gonna rap on them, just send me. I just want to hear them. Yeah. Like and see what I think of. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I am back making music. I ain't gonna put no dates or nothing like that out. I think that you will be hearing something from me real soon. Okay. Just vibing that as far as music, that's what I got going on. But I'm more focused on like I said, the iPod starting in April. Of course, the videography and the photography is still going hard and doing this thing. I do want to say before you know what I'm saying I forget. The reason it's called Our Differences Defined. It was because like what I wanted to do was be able to, you know what I'm saying, talk about individuality. And it's funny that the question that you asked me at the beginning of the episode, that was my answer. And creativity and all of those things. I think that in our community, it gets shunned upon to be certain things. And I think when you grow up where we come from, it's celebrated when you're a rapper. It's celebrated when you're a basketball player, a football player, or something like that. But like when you're a computer guy, you're a nerd. When you're a cameraman, you're a nerd.
Yeah.
And you know, I just wanted to make sure that you know we respect all walks of life because like our differences define our future. So like basically what I'm saying is like we need all of us collectively to come together for the world to run the way it does. Like we need engineers, we need cameramen, we need, you know what I'm saying, everybody. We need everybody doing all of it because it's all a different form of something. Like, you know what I'm saying? We all need to respect each other's individuality into that and use that thing as a source to bring together a community of people that we could, you know what I'm saying, you know, run our own thing with. So I just want to make sure I did say that the story behind Our Differences Defined because, like I said, individuality, creativity, and just excellence for us is something that I want.
Absolutely, man. All that's important. Yeah, it's crazy how you put that thing full circle like that, man. I ain't know you was about to go there. So, no, thank you for giving us that insight. Our differences do truly define, and that's what this is all about: bringing people together, and you know, making sure we're all on one accord and building a community. In a way that elevates us all, in spite of our differences. You know, our differences is what makes us unique. So, thank you for all that you're doing. And telling stories. That's really what it all comes down to through the music. the video, the photography, the podcast. You telling stories, man. So I mean, anything you know you want to share with the people just about what they can expect here in the near future. Anything to get the people excited for what I come. The iPod. You said that's dropping in April. I know we gonna see you at Share the Vibes Fest in one way or another, but no, anything you just want to share with the people before we close about what they can be on the lookout for.
Right now, if you see my hat, I don't know if y'all can see it. Prolific Arms.
Okay.
So two of my good friends, man, they opened up a firearm store in West Dallas, right outside of Milwaukee. 60th and Grant, 2192 South 60th Street. If anybody y'all know need firearm training, CCWs, any information on guns, or they need to buy a gun, ammunition, or anything like that, come see us. I'm actually the creative designer for everything socially or on the internet for them. I do work with them on the daily, so I just want to shout my boys out. We're doing real good work over there. And other than that, man, just I just want to tell people, like, bro, you can come back from anything. And I ain't like no billionaire or nothing like that. But I will tell you this. In the midst of all of the things that I've been through and all the things that I've done, I've learned that what I'm saying. Just being at peace is probably one of the most richest things you can be. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not competing with nobody. I'm competing with myself. Just trying to better myself every day. I want to inspire. And I'm a giver. I just want to keep helping. So if anybody needs services or need anything from me, reach out, man. You never know. Like sometimes the price is a little cheaper than what you think. And I do want to do more work in the community, working with like just people with special stories. Even if it's just like somebody that you guys know or anybody in the community know that had a tough story that they want to bring light to, or want to bring some inspiration or some help or some resources to somebody. I'm willing to come out and shoot a little short film with them, talk to them, talk with them, and just try to get somebody some help, man. And if anybody need any assistance like that, I'm on Instagram, 414 ODD_414, Will Boyce on Facebook, and what I'm saying, just reach out, tap in, man. Like I said, I want to keep inspiring, keep growing, and keep bettering where we at and where we come from.
That's dope to hear, because I'm on the board of Wisconsin Black Media Association, and we're looking to get all the black media folks in the city of Milwaukee, whether you behind the camera, you hold a boomstick, a boom arm, you do audio, you do visual, you do whatever, podcast, whatever you do. We want all the media folks to come in. So I'll talk to you a little bit more about that after this, though. But it's good to hear. That's definitely good to hear. And plus, I may have a beat for you too as well. I'm gonna run it by Devin first, because I got to get the Devin stamp.
Oh yeah,
got to get the Devin stamp first, and I'll send it to you. Because I think you might. Man, kill it.
Yeah, we usually let Mwanje nerd out a little bit. So a lot of people don't know. Mwanje, he does the podcast and he teaches, but he plays with them boards and produces beats and does this thing behind the scenes with music. One thing is we talked about in an episode in our area a couple episodes ago was how you don't always have to be the artist or the superstar of the team. Sometimes you got to play that supporting role, like you said. There's 5 players on that court at all times with basketball, and all 5 are important. If one of them not playing their role, the other 4 gonna get screwed over. So, that's what we're all about, man. Just making sure people know avenues to achieving what they're trying to do with their passions and their purpose. That's just what it's all about. We're trying to give you a community to help you do that, whatever that may be. Mwanje, any last thoughts from you, good brother?
Nope, this has been an amazing episode. I really love the fact that we got some Milwaukee history, essentially, in this episode, where we got this story of just talking about different producers, talked about Pizzle now, Sherrod Sloan's, and Bizness Boi, who was, as a producer, somebody I look up to. So just to kind of get that information and just really talk about some of the clubs that you've been to. I was too young to go, so I had to be in the house before the street lights. So so it's just really good to get that Milwaukee history, and it was really just kind of getting that backstory of some of the greats in Milwaukee as well too, and the fact learning that you were there as well too, just getting that, soaking up that game, but also participating in that game as well too, and that's dope. So that's dope. this was enjoyable for sure.
Absolutely. Well, Will, Jae Ace, thank you for coming through Share the Vibes podcast and kicking us with us, man. You've been with us on this Share the Vibes journey, literally from the beginning, from that Share the Vibes Awards we did at Penrod 2021 to the first festival, and we're going to keep it rocking going forward. So thank you for being a supporter of all we're doing, and we're definitely supporting you and all you do, and you're dope at what you do. So keep doing it. We're going to keep doing our part to give you the platform to share your talents and gifts with the world as well. So thank you, brother, for coming through. Shout out to that boy Clint, who just said his name about 10 times. So Clint Meyer, look him up too. Follow Black Gems on IG. I think it's at Black Gems. And he's trying to just make sure people are educated around things as it relates to our community. We're going to get him back with a trumpet or something in his hand.
He's going to run for office.
Man, he'll hop on that basketball court with you too. Don't let him fool you. So shout out to Clint. And shout out to everybody who's been supporting you and all you're doing, and everybody that's supporting Share the Vibes. Be on the lookout. Planning is underway for the 3rd annual Share the Vibes Music and Technology Festival. We'll be back in Milwaukee this summer. We're locking in a date right now, so more will be coming on that very soon. But stay on the lookout for what we got going on. Head to the website, get you some merch, check out the other podcast episodes, and whatever else is out there. I don't know right now, but if it's out there, check it out. And tap in. So, hey, it's always a pleasure. Thank you for listening. Again, I am Jink the DJ, founder CEO of Share the Vibes LLC. And until next time, stay safe, stay blessed, keep sharing the vibes. Peace.
Stay hot.